What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 5 best kept housing secrets in the Winston-Salem area. Let's get into the video. My name is Ramon Lomeli. I'm a local realtor and the team leader of the Smart Move Group brokered by eXp Realty here in Winston-Salem, as well as all the surrounding areas. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to make this video for you guys today is because there's still a lot of people moving to the area, which I love, but a lot of people don't know about all the little areas surrounding Winston-Salem, which could be just what you're looking for. Also, the home prices inside of Winston-Salem continue to be on the rise because we're still in the seller's market. People continue to move here, but a lot of these smaller towns, you can still find a great deal, a lot cheaper property out there. Before we jump into it though, I just want to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all that I can do to help, feel free to reach out, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, let me know how I can help, if at all. I'd love a chance to earn your business and have a quick chat with you. In the meantime, I am going to leave you some awesome links in the about section of this video. You're going to see the Winston-Salem relocation map. You're also going to see some awesome homes in all of these little areas that are surrounding Winston-Salem. The links in the about section of this video are going to show you homes that are actively on the market while you watch this video in these specific areas. And lastly, don't forget to give me a like, comment, and subscribe. Those kinds of things help me tremendously. They help keep me motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you. The first area that you may not have heard of that you may want to consider if you're moving to the Winston-Salem area is going to be Thomasville, North Carolina. Thomasville is a small, quiet, rural town located 20 miles outside of Winston-Salem. One of the nicknames that Thomasville has is the Chair City because they do a lot of furniture there. It's really close to High Point, North Carolina, which is like one of the best places in the world to get furniture actually. And they take their nickname seriously because they have actually a huge, gigantic chair right in the downtown part of their little town. Now, Thomasville is only about 17 square miles. The entire town is quite small. And the population is just over 27,000 people according to the last census. And one of the things that I enjoy about Thomasville is that it actually has a lot of stores and shopping and things going on. Some of these little towns, rural areas that we're going to be talking about today don't have a lot going on. So you're really going to have to go back to Winston-Salem to really do any kind of shopping or anything at all really. But in Thomasville, that's not the case. One thing that I love about Thomasville is that the average price point is about 26% cheaper than you would find in Winston-Salem. $241,000 was the average sold price in the last 6 months. And I've been selling more and more homes inside of Thomasville. I feel like the word is starting to get out there about Thomasville, like this hidden gem that's been out there. So I'm not exactly sure how much longer Thomasville is going to be a well-kept secret in the area, but that's why I'm bringing it to your guys' attention so that you don't miss out on this opportunity. Now we're going to talk about King, North Carolina. Once again, if you're thinking about moving to the Winston-Salem area and you're okay with a little bit of a more rural setting, King is definitely something that you want to keep in mind. King is located in Stokes County and it's only about 15 miles away from Winston-Salem. Now King is tiny, only about 6 square miles, and the population is under 10,000 people as of the last census. So as you can tell, very, very small area. One of the things that I really appreciated about King, and it's the same in Thomasville, that they have a lot going on. They have their cute little downtown shops, downtown ice cream places, restaurants, bars. They have some things going on, but for the most part, if you want to do anything as far as entertainment wise, you're probably going to have to go to Winston-Salem. You can get your groceries in King, North Carolina. You don't have to travel for that, but other than that, you're probably going to have to go back to Winston. King, North Carolina happens to be right off of 52, so you can get back to Winston or you can go to Pilot Mountain in just a few minutes. Pilot Mountain, if you're not aware, is a popular destination for hikers or nature lovers in general in the Winston-Salem area. It's the closest mountain that we have here, and so it's awesome to, if we decide to go on a hike on Saturday morning, we're going to Pilot Mountain. I actually didn't know this, but apparently King has its own fair as well, so I'm gonna have to check that out, add that to the calendar. And the homes inside of King are still gonna be 10% cheaper than what you see in Winston-Salem. About $296,000 is what the average price point was, at least in the last 6 months. And I do love that in King, you're typically getting maybe half an acre, maybe an acre of land. That's not always the case. There are some neighborhoods out there that are a little bit more close together, but more often than not, you're looking at a home with some land. We're gonna keep going with this list, but I do want to remind you, as always, that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if there's anything at all that you have questions about that I might be able to help you with, do not hesitate to reach out. That's literally why I'm making these videos. Call, text, email, full contact info is in the about section. I'm gonna leave you some amazing links down there so you can see what homes are going for in these areas that we're talking about, as well as Winston-Salem. I'm gonna leave you the Winston-Salem relocation guide, all kinds of fun stuff, including me if you want to be my friend on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I even got Reels up now, so wherever you want to be friends. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel, it helps me stay motivated, and it helps people discover these videos. So I really appreciate it if you do that. So now we're going to talk about Yadkinville, another town that you're going to want to consider if you're moving to the Winston-Salem area. You should at least look in these areas. Now, Yadkinville holds a special place in my heart because when I moved here from Southern California, from Anaheim, California, Yadkinville was our first stop. We actually lived there for just under a year. Now, as you can expect, total culture shock. In fact, I'm planning on doing a video about like the differences between city life and rural life, like Yadkinville, North Carolina. But that's going to be for another day. For right now, let's just talk about Yadkinville. Yadkinville is a town 18 miles west of Winston-Salem, and it's right off of 421. So getting in and out of Winston and back to Yadkinville is really easy. Like most of the towns on this list today, it's going to be a smaller area with a smaller population. In Yadkinville, I believe there's just like 601 is basically also known as Main Street when you get to downtown. That's basically the main drag in Yadkinville. Of course, you got your gas stations, you got your grocery stores, you got a couple Chinese food places, you got a couple of restaurants, family owned, and some commercial chain restaurants. And then downtown, you have a couple of things to do as well. But for the most part, if you're trying to go to the theater, you're trying to do something really fun, you're probably gonna have to head back into the city. Yadkinville was actually named after the Yadkin River, which is one of the longest rivers inside of North Carolina. By the way, I'm realizing that I say Yadkin very easily now. It took me a while to learn how to say. I used to struggle with that word when I first moved here, but you'll get here, you'll get used to it. It's Yadkinville. Now, one thing about Yadkinville and the whole Yadkin Valley that a lot of people don't know about, and I feel is underrated and more people should know about, is our wines here. The Yadkin Valley wine region. We have some amazing wines here in this area. There are over 30 wineries and vineyards in this area alone. And I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I'm a wine snob and I can tell the differences or where they were made. All I know is that I do enjoy a good wine, and I do enjoy going to those wineries and vineyards, sitting out on a patio overlooking fields and fields of vineyards and enjoying a nice glass of wine and having a good atmosphere. So they actually have the Yadkin Valley Grape Festival coming up in October, which I'm glad I did the research for this town and found that out. I'm gonna try to go and show you guys, but just know that they got some, if wine is your thing, Yadkinville would not be a wrong way to go. And yeah, if you live in Yadkinville, like I said before, you're gonna be self-sufficient. You're not gonna have to travel back and forth to Winston-Salem to get a gallon of milk or anything like that, but it is gonna be less options, and for anything major, you are gonna have to go back into the city. But on the positive side, home prices are 23% cheaper than Winston-Salem, so the average price point in Yadkinville is about $254,000 so far this year. And once again, we're in a small town. Typically, homes are more spread apart, so you're usually gonna get a good bit of land with your home when you're looking outside of Winston-Salem. Now let's talk about a town called Rural Hall. Once again, if you're looking in Winston-Salem, you should definitely also check out Rural Hall because you can get homes at a better price and you're gonna be really close to Winston-Salem. So if you're nervous about being too far from the city, I think Rural Hall is probably gonna be the best one on this list for you because you're only a few miles north of Winston-Salem. You can get literally from Rural Hall to downtown Winston-Salem in under 20 minutes. Obviously, there's a lot between downtown and the edge of Winston-Salem, but generally speaking, this is a good one if you want to be kind of in the rural, but not too rural. They've got a great community, great schools, and affordable housing in Rural Hall, so you should definitely check that out. And once again, outside of your, just your regular everyday few restaurant options that you have in Rural Hall, you're probably going to want to go into Winston for most of your shopping needs or most of your dining needs, your entertainment needs. And inside of Rural Hall, you're going to be cheaper than Winston-Salem, like we said before, about 20% cheaper actually. The average price of a home in Rural Hall in the last 6 months at least was about $269,000. And again, we talked about this before, but homes inside of Rural Hall, typically you're going to have a little bit more land. So if you're looking to get out of a big city and you're cramped and you want a little bit of room to spread out, Rural Hall would be something I would definitely suggest, not only for more space, but also helps a little bit on the price as well. All right, guys, we're up to the last hidden gem of today's video. Before we do that, though, I do want to remind you that if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know the routine. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Let me know how I can help, if at all. Don't forget about all those helpful links in the About section of this video in case you want to see a home that's for sale in Rural Hall or Thomasville or Germanton or wherever. They're going to be down there. They're going to be available, and they're going to be homes that are actively on the market right now as you watch this video. And of course, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're doing a good job by liking, commenting, and subscribing. That helps me stay motivated to keep pumping out these videos for you, and it also helps this video get out to more people. The last one on today's list, we're going to be talking about Germanton, North Carolina. Now, this is an area that you might want to explore if you're thinking about moving to the Winston-Salem area. However, I do want to mention that it is going to be further away than some of the other towns that we spoke about today. Double checking my notes here, it's actually only about 13 miles north of Winston-Salem. However, because you're going all back roads to get up there as opposed to some of these other towns, it definitely feels like it takes a lot longer. Time-wise, it may take more longer to get get up to Germanton than it does to get to, say, Thomasville or say, you know, Yadkinville or even say Rural Hall. So Germanton, tiny town, population of almost no people, very, very small population. Germanton has a very, very small selection, almost no selection of small businesses or any kind of businesses really. So you're really having to go back to Winston-Salem to do most of your grocery shopping or dining, entertainment. You're just gonna have to go back to the city. You know, if you live in Germanton, I would suggest, you know, maybe go to the grocery store before you head home because you're likely gonna be working in Winston-Salem or somewhere near there. So as long as you get your stuff before you head home, you're probably not gonna have to go out again, but you never know. That's one of the things that living in Germanton is a downside, but you do have some perks. Homes in Germanton actually go for about 24% less than they go for in Winston-Salem. About $249,000 is the average price, at least in the last 6 months, for homes in Germanton. So the good thing is that in Winston-Salem, this is about as cheap as it gets. You're still gonna get a solid home with some land in Germanton typically, but you know, like I said, the price is gonna be there, but unfortunately, you're gonna be quite a ways away, 25 minutes from Winston-Salem, and 25 minutes along a single lane, dark, windy road is gonna feel like a lot longer. I've actually only ever sold a few homes in Germanton, probably because of a few reasons. I would say number one, there's just not a ton of real estate out there. So even if you know, they have options of where they want to live, there's not going to be a ton of options in Germanton. Also, the amount of people that know of Germanton is very low. So not everyone, unless you live there or know someone that lives there, it's kind of one of those little pass-through little towns that you pass through on the way to go to the mountains or back to Winston-Salem. And so if you like the sound of Germanton, I definitely suggest starting to look as early as possible because there's not going to be a whole lot of real estate up there. That will bring us to the end of today's video. Before you go and click on one of my competitors' videos, make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to call me, shoot me a text if you have any questions that you have that are more direct or more specific. Just call me or shoot me a text. I'll be happy to answer them. You know, obviously no charge, free consultation. Don't even worry about it. Have a good day. Don't forget about the links in the about section of this video, and I'll see you in the next video.